And we are on air.
Hi guys, my name's Brianna and today I'm going to be giving you guys some show recommendations. So let's get right into the video. So I've done a video like this before where I just go through some of my favorite shows I've been watching lately so you guys can check them out as well. So now I have 12 new shows for you guys today. I watch so much TV that I could give you so many, but I decided first of all to only give you shows I've seen all the way through till the end. So if I'm in the middle of watching them, I'm not going to recommend them to you guys until I know if I really loved the whole entire thing. So these are only shows I absolutely adore. So I have some from Netflix, of course. You guys know I'm a Netflix gal, but I've also recently got Hulu. I got it for Christmas, so I have some Hulu recommendations as well. Now all of these are not Netflix originals and Hulu originals. Some are, some aren't. This is where I watch them from, but I'm sure some of these shows you can find on other streaming platforms as well. So let's get into it. So something new for me, which you would know if you watched my recent Who Knows Me Better video with my parents, is animated shows. I have 3 animated shows that I absolutely adore that I've gotten into recently that in the past I never would have even tried. So from Netflix we have Big Mouth. I think that show is just absolutely hilarious. Although it's definitely not a family-friendly show. You wouldn't want to watch it with your parents or your siblings or anything like that. It is absolutely hysterical. I have watched it with friends, I have watched it with my boyfriend, watch it by myself, and it's just really funny. It's an animated show about these kids in middle school and the changes they're going through and like just becoming adults and going through puberty, and it's hysterical. Now Big Mouth was from Netflix. The next animated show is from Hulu. Or it's not from Hulu, but it's on Hulu. That's where I've seen it. Rick and Morty. I absolutely love Rick and Morty. Now Rick and Morty does have inappropriate parts, but this is a little bit more family friendly. I have watched it with my brothers. So funny. You couldn't have done a show like this with real people because you wouldn't get all the sci-fi aspects. In animation, they can do more with that. So it just allows for these really crazy storylines, and I love it so much. And going on along with that a little bit, some of the same creators, Solar Opposites. I also really love Solar Opposites, and my brother Aiden loves Solar Opposites as well. Again, it's more in the style of Rick and Morty, where it is a bit inappropriate, so it's your discretion, but you could watch it with your siblings and whatnot if you wanted to. Again, I absolutely adore it. That show's a little different than Rick and Morty, whereas it's still sci-fi, but the main characters are aliens. So really interesting shows. All 3 of those animated shows, they're perfect because you could not get those same storylines out of acting. You need that animation, and it just really seals the deal. The storylines are fantastic. It's hilarious. Definitely recommend them. The next show I'm going to recommend to you guys I saw from Netflix, and it's New Girl. I absolutely loved New Girl. I binged it all at once. It is hysterical, but it also is really touching, and you get to watch this whole love story unfold, and I was so invested in the characters and what was going to happen with them. And let me tell you, when I watched that last episode, I was bawling, crying. I love this show so much, and I can't see how anyone could not love it. And that kind of, again, like Solar Opposites and Rick and Morty, brings me to my next one. Same creators, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I saw that on Hulu. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It is so funny, and again, there's a love story aspect, but it's less of the main focus. In New Girl, I feel like that's more of a focus, although it comes in and out of the storyline and they're not always together and blah blah. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's not as much of a focus, but more of an addition. Brooklyn Nine-Nine has a much more well-rounded storylines, whereas I feel like the romance is the main shtick of New Girl with many other things also going on. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the main shtick is just that it's police, and then there's all this stuff going on. I think that Brooklyn Nine-Nine is absolutely hilarious. It has me cracking up. Highly recommend. Alright, now we're gonna go in the complete opposite direction, away from funny, and go to like thriller, horror type vibes. Okay, let's see. The name of the show is The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. Very long title, I know, but this show will keep you on your toes. I don't want to say much about it because literally anything I could say will spoil it, but it is the best crime show I have seen in a long time because it's not about multiple crimes. Well, like, it kind of is, but it's multiple crimes surrounding this one major crime and this girl who is had a lot of serious stuff going on for her, and she's really struggling. This lady, you know, she's struggling with like drinking and pills, and she's trying to solve this mystery, and you kind of get to try and solve it along with her, but trust me, you'll never see the ending coming. If you want something to be invested in and to be figuring it out as you go, not just like invested you want to see what happens, invested as in like you are wanting to solve it before it tells you the answer, watch this show. I almost guarantee you're not going to figure it out. I was blown away. The next show I'm going to recommend to you guys is I'm Not Okay With This. I had heard so much about this show but never felt the need to watch it, and I just one day saw it and I was like, alright, you know what? I have nothing else to watch right now. Let's just watch it. It was so good that I can't wait for more. I can't believe there's only one season out. That show is about a girl who is discovering that she has powers. I don't really know how to sell you on the show without spoiling it, so that's all I'm gonna really say about it, but I promise you it's worth it. And there's only one season out right now anyways, so you don't have to invest too much time into it to watch it, so I definitely think you all should check it out. In the same vein as that, where I saw so much about it and just never checked it out, is Outer Banks. I don't know what I thought Outer Banks was about, but it always seemed too posh for me. I don't know where I got that idea from, but I just heard so much about it. I caved eventually and I watched it, and I never knew what it was about. I had heard so much about the show and I never knew what it was about. It's like a really crazy intense treasure hunt, and I'm obsessed. I cannot wait for the next season. I'm on my toes. It has the friendship, the drama, the crime, the love. It has all the aspects you could possibly wish for, and it is so freaking good. Alright, we got 2 more Netflix shows and then we're gonna hop back to Hulu. Next show is gonna be Manifest. Manifest is about these people who go on this plane. Plane disappears, so their families think they're like dead, whatever, blah blah blah. 5 years later, the plane reappears, but the people on the plane haven't aged at all. And it's all about the crazy stuff they experience and happens to them after that, after they get home 5 years later. And it's really interesting because the main characters is a family who got split up. Half of them were on the plane, half of them were not. And one of the characters not from the plane and one of them from the plane were twins. So they are twins, but now that the plane came back, the twins are 5 years apart in age. It is really crazy, super interesting. It just allows for so many detailed storylines with all these characters and just how their lives have changed when for them it was a blink of an eye and their family 5 years passed and all the grieving passed. It's insane. I feel like Manifest is the kind of show that if you like conspiracy theories, you'll like this show because it's all kind of one big conspiracy theory after another of them trying to figure out what happened to them. So you can kind of theorize yourself as you go along, and I can't wait to see more seasons because right now we still don't know what happened, and we just get clues and more clues and more clues and more crazy stuff happens, and it's just really good show. Now the last show I saw from Netflix that I'm going to recommend to you guys is Unbreakable, Kimmy, Schmidt. It is about the main girl, Kimmy, but also a whole group of girls who were kidnapped into a cult, and now years and years and years later, they are found, and they were kidnapped when they were in like middle school and stuff like that, and now they're adults, and they have no education, they don't know anything about like technology and all this stuff, and it's about them trying to readjust to normal life and figuring out who they are and how to move on from this. So the main girl, Kimmy, she moves in with this gay guy, Titus, and they have this crazy old lady landlord, and it's this really funny dynamic, and you know, however dark the show sounds when I just described it, it is hysterical. It is a really, really funny show, and I I love it so much. Moving from Netflix to Hulu and from funny to super serious, the next show I'm going to recommend is Looking for Alaska. It's based off of a book, Looking for Alaska by John Green. Incredible book. But a lot of times books get turned into movies and then you feel disappointed. This was like a really long movie. It was a limited series show, only one season because it's the book and then that's it. And it was so fantastic that I suddenly think that it's not that visual form is worse than book form. It's just that they don't do the books justice. And this really did the book justice. It was detailed and heart-wrenching and it was so beautiful that I don't know about you guys, but I was able to just sit straight through it. I had to take breaks because I had to go to work and stuff like that, but I had no problem sitting and watching it like it was a movie, like a very long movie. This will wreck your heart, so prepare yourself, bring tissues, but I promise you're gonna love it. Now I know I said at the start that I was only gonna tell you about shows that I've finished already, but I'm in the middle of one show and I'm almost done. I'm on the last season, so close. So I thought I would include my current watch. And this is the last show. I'm watching it currently on Hulu. It's called The Secret Life of the American Teenager. A long time ago, years and years ago, maybe I was 15, not sure, I started watching this show. Don't know what happened that I never finished it, but I saw it when I downloaded Hulu, or rather when I got Hulu, because the show used to be on Netflix, and that's when I originally watched it. And I was like, I remember this show. It seems really interesting. I might as well watch it in full. And the drama, oh my gosh. If you're the type of person who hates real life drama but really craves to hear about other people's drama and just gossip, you will love this show. It's all about teenagers and teen pregnancy and relationships and lying and cheating, and it is so crazy and intense. And there's stuff about the teenagers, but there's stuff about the parents too, and they include things about sexuality, and oh my goodness, it is just a really, really incredible show. Every episode leaves you with a hook. You just want to find out what happens next. I am itching to get to the very end of it. I can't wait to find out what's gonna happen. I just want to see how it's gonna end already, because let me tell you, this show is gonna take you a long time to finish. I feel like I've been watching it forever now and I'm still not done, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Like I said, Hulu is new for me and I'm almost done with this show, so if you guys have Hulu, comment down below some recommendations for me, because on Netflix, I have a whole list of shows waiting for me to watch. On Hulu, I don't really know what's out there because I'm new to it, so I would love some recommendations, and let me know if you guys have seen any of these shows and what you think of them, or if you do end up watching them, what you think. But yeah, that's pretty much it, so that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Happy VEDIM, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah.